Son shit, y'all ready?
I hope y'all are. This episode, we're going to talk about the first black television network. First black television station, maybe. I don't know if you want to call it a network or a station. First black television station. We're going to go with that. It's Channel 62 out there in Detroit. While we're talking about Detroit, let me sidetrack a minute. We're gonna go to two different places before we get to this actual topic in Detroit. Y'all know how we do. Salute, first of all, let me say this also. Salute to all the people who listen to the show, who get the show, who understand where we going when we do this show. Like I said, I still get people hitting me up like, yo, you know what I mean? Why don't you just play the clip, or why don't you just do one whole joint and not switch up to the clip? I get it. Everybody got their thing, you know what I mean? There's not a bunch of talking heads, debating on stuff. But first and foremost, what we need to talk about, Flint. 10 years. It's been, I don't know if y'all know that. It's been 10 years. They're saying by the government standard, the water's safe. By government standards, the water is safe. This is the same government that tells you it's cool if your food got like a little bit of rat poo on it. So, you know what I mean? This is the same government that's like, yo, when you look at the ingredients of stuff, there's foods that aren't available in other countries because of the ingredients. But yeah, there's still 10 years later, Flint's water is still questionable. That's how we gonna say it. We're not gonna say it's bad, it's questionable. Like, do you want to be the person to go, yeah, man, they say it's safe, let me drink it? Nah. And salute to the people out there in Flint who exposed the Obama thing, right? When Obama was like, nah, give me some water out the faucet, we gonna go old school. And they were like, nah, the water was shut down prior to him getting there, like weeks before he got there. Where Obama getting this water from? And you realize real quick, it's all what it is, man. Like, everything is for your eyes. If you know, you know, and you're not supposed to know. That's the thing. We're never supposed to know what's really going on. Like, Obama was well out of presidency. Trump was deep into his presidency. Then the news came out. It's going to take a while for everything to be exposed. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking really exposed. We're not talking, you know, man, I got these conspiracy theories. Nah. Like, we're talking actually put out there. It's going to take a minute for it to really get down right into, like, the space that I think we need to talk about, that needs to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, also, what I think I wanted to talk about was this thing that has been popping up on my phone lately. And while I'm on social media, y'all know me, I'm not on TikTok, so I'm on the gram. And it's popped up a bunch of times. Like, it's like every few swipes. Cause is it me, or like on Instagram? Like, is it me, or is it once you follow people, or the people that you're following, you rarely get their stuff? It's like a whole bunch of random stuff. And like I said, you're like, okay, yeah, this seems like some cool content. Follow. Then nothing. Like, you literally stop getting their content. Like, the people I follow, I rarely get their content. I get their content like by accident, it feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a point I literally had to look up somebody and was like, yo, am I even following this person anymore? Like, are they still around? Yeah, they're still doing their thing. I'm not getting the content. I don't even know how that, like I said, I don't know how that works. So then there's times when you go into the random joint where it's not, you know how like you hit the bigger thing, and then it takes you to a whole bunch of other people's reels or whatever, feeds or something, that's when I see all the people that I'm following. Like, not in my actual timeline joint. I'm like, yo, how is... But anyway, that ain't the point. Point is, while going through these randomnesses, I came across this one thing. It's this one topic multiple times, and I've only heard one person kind of halfway get what I can say I consider right, and that is only when she was like, yo, a lot of the foulness and the wildness isn't coming from the outside, it's interior. And I was like, yo, she right, because it's not other people, like, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna play this piece for you, and I'm not gonna play the people's comments afterwards. I'm gonna play the topic.
Can someone explain to me when fandom spaces got so mean?
So what I keep hearing is people saying the geek world, the nerd world is pop culture now. You got a lot of, basically, remember like when rock dudes used to be like, they're posers. Basically, that's the vibe. They're saying like a lot of people have joined in, have become part of the gang, and they only know it because it's pop culture now. And I'm not gonna lie, they're right. I can't stand to talk to a person who only knows MCU stuff, but they don't know nothing about the comics. We can't have a conversation. Your conversation on these characters is limited to the movies and Disney and Disney's shows and movies. So our conversation can never be a real conversation because you're there. So I get that part. I totally understand that. Here's a truth that only when you get older and you start meeting more and more people, you realize three things. First is everybody's a geek / nerd about something. About something. You know what I'm saying? We like to just regulate that to, ooh, they're about stars, or they're about these card games, or they're about these comic books. Everything. That homie that you grew up with who knows way too much about cars and various things, everything from the way the engine works, the tires, what kind of function it needs, and this and the third. That's a car geek. That's a car nerd. That person that knows everything about the sound system and the music system and the speakers and how to get the tweeters to go, ooh, this will get your bass up here. You know, what you need to do is make sure that you got enough space for this and that in your car or your system. Yo, what you need to do is tune this here and you get a better quality sound. They're geeks. They're nerds. That person who's a gun enthusiast sounds better than gun geek. Gun nerd. Guys who can tell you where the best place to hunt, how's the best place to hunt, what's the best things to hunt, do this and do that, and yo, sometimes you gotta do this and don't wear these kind of colors. Oh, this is the best time to do it. You know, they're nerds. Whatever you seem to have hyper-focused on, and took interest in, you're a geek for that. You're a nerd for that. You know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost. When you grow up and you start realizing everybody's a nerd at something, the world becomes clearer to you. That's first and foremost. Second, for all these people who like to act like they had the exclusivity to the fandom and the geeking out and over certain stuff, you don't. We all did it. I know gangsters. I know hustlers. I know dudes who will get it in with the gun or with the hands that are like, yo, I ain't going outside till Batman go off. The animated series that used to come on Fox Monday through Friday. I ain't going outside until Batman go off. And then we'll be on the block with hustlers talking about, yo, did y'all see that episode of Batman? Some dudes did, some dudes didn't. You know what I'm saying? I know dudes who will beat you down that had Pokemon cards. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys are not owners of that world. We all experienced the same childhood. We all grew up the same way. We all watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the He-Mans, the Voltrons, the Power Rangers. We all know about the Pokemons, the Yu-Gi-Ohs. Why do you think when dudes make these comments, we all get it? When we see these movies, we've all Every dude in the hood has seen Lord of the Rings joint, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Seen the joint, love the joint. You know what I mean? The Labyrinth joint with David Bowie. We've seen it. The Princess Bride. We've seen, like, dudes can literally give you quotes and stuff like that. We know who these people are. We know these joints. You don't have exclusivity to that. Star Wars, we all do it. We all know it. The Dungeons and Dragons joints, the War World joints, all of these games, all of this stuff. Here's where the separation becomes between what you guys have and everybody else. He never committed to it fully. You feel me? Like, I see dudes have their Pokemon card game amongst themselves. They're not going to the mall to the tournament. This is where, and I think, where I see people talk about sometimes it's internal, that's where it gets crazy, because there is a point where the same way geeks and nerds feel like they're not comfortable in this world, in this space, we didn't feel comfortable there. There's that point when you get there and it's like they're looking at you like, yo, why he here? You could be ill on it. Like, you could have the illest deck. You could have that killer deck and they'll never know, because you're like, you go there and you feel uncomfortable. You're like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. And you go back around the way and just with your around the way homies. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Again, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, all of these joints, when these movies came out, there were people who knew about the books, or they saw the cartoon as a kid. You know what I'm saying? The Lord of the Rings joint, the Fellowship joint. We remember the joint from the 80s. If you was a kid, you saw it. There was that and the joint with the rabbits. Y'all remember them joints. We remember them. And we go, and we like, yo, I'm gonna go check this movie out. You look over, dudes is dressed like the characters. Harry Potter. Harry Potter was a thing. I remember Harry Potter. I remember brothers going, yeah, my mama ain't gonna let my sister and my brother read it because they think it's witchcraft. They heard from the 5 percenters and the Israelites that's witchcraft. But she's still like, yo, it keeps them quiet, it keeps them in the cut. They're reading, I've read a couple of chapters, yo, the joint kinda, the joint kinda aight, yo, it's this part, and they tell you what it is. We been there. So then it's like, yo, the movie coming out. Yeah, man, I'm gonna take my little peoples up there to see the joint. You know what I mean? You get up there, you're like, yo, grown men and women, I'm taking my younger siblings, my little teenage siblings. I'm in my 20s, I'm taking my teenage siblings. Yo, cause like I said, I done watched a couple chapters. I wanna watch this joint with them. Boom, boom. I turn this dudes my age or older dressed like the characters. That's what separates us. You guys are highly invested. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Even if like what's the Renaissance joint? Every black person has thought to themselves like, yo, I'm gonna go to one of them joints. Then they realize, I'm just not dressing like that though. I don't wanna, and that's where we get caught up at. A lot of us don't want to dress the part. We want to enjoy and be part of it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to that Comic-Con joint. I ain't dressing like nobody though. I'm not cosplaying. That's the difference. We are all part of the same joint. You guys are just heavily invested. It's not that pop culture has made it cool to be that. We were all that way. Like the concept that people, I think the geeks and the nerds have is that old school 80s thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the jocks and this and this. Nah, we all watched the same cartoons. We all did the same things. That's why if you guys make references at your real jobs in the real world, around the way dudes are laughing like, yo, oh snap, yo, remember that joint? And here's the wild part, that's a bonding moment that neither side wants to engage in. Y'all go back off in your corner, they go back off in their corner. We're a lot more alike than you think. Like I said, I get it. Nowadays, everybody is a quote unquote, but that's a whole different thing. That's for a generation that doesn't even read comics. Like I said, when you see these people now and they're like, yo, I ain't never read no comics, but I know a lot about the MCU, we can't have that conversation. We can't get into that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I only know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the Nickelodeon joints. We can't get into that conversation because either it's the comic books, the early cartoons, or a couple of the revamped joints, or even the movies and the joint that had Vanilla Ice in it. We there. There's a whole generation of us that are there. We went from all of that to the Nickelodeon joint to the joint that had Seth Rogen and all them up in it. We're there. We were there. We're 100%. Boom, boom, boom. Transformers is that way. Like, Transformers is that way to the point that you got a whole generation of people that are like, nah, I only watched the Michael Bay Transformers, but they never watched the cartoons. They never watched the Beast Wars. They never watched none of that. But they know Michael Bay joint, so it's like, So even when old boy came through with the Bumblebee joint, and the Bumblebee was the like the Cybertron joint, was like, oh snap, this is like Transformer cartoon dudes was like, ooh, we going back to this? Ooh, okay, yeah. And Hood dudes was like, yeah, son, I went to take my peoples to see the Bumblebee, and there was the old school Cybertron, like on the cartoons, son. Like, yo, these dudes look like the cartoons. We are there. We are all in the same world. We are all part of the same joint. We just can't get past the fact you guys felt like outsiders, and we were like, yo, look at these dudes. That's wild. I ain't going that far. And that was really it. Yeah, I like that joint too. I ain't going that far. Has always been our stance. Oh yeah, I'm down for that joint too. I ain't gonna dress up like them dudes though. That was it. That was it. There is no crazy secret like thing. And I think the geeks and the nerds are like, nah, man, they trying to invade. They trying to make it cool. Like, it was always cool. We all had the same toys. We all played the same video games. We all did the same stuff. It was all about how invested you were. I know dudes who can tell you their favorite Green Lantern from around the way. Same dudes. There's dudes locked up in jail that can tell you Dragon Ball Z fights. Blow for blow. What villains was this? What dudes was doing that? Boom, boom, boom. Locked up. Killers. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this big gap or invasion of your little thing that you think it is. We're all there. We've all been there. Like I said, it's intimidating because you guys make it seem like, oh, we shouldn't be part of it, or we shouldn't know. And then it's like, oh, well, maybe I guess I'm not as invested as they are as far as knowledge-wise. And then you start hearing them talking, you're like, oh, that's completely wrong, you know? And then if they jump in and say something, y'all are lost. Like, yo, you must have read that. You must have Googled that. Dude, I saw this episode, and then boom, boom, boom. Oh, snap. Yeah, I guess you did that. But guess what still happens? He goes off and tells his homie, yeah, you know them geeks that act like they knew about such and such. Yeah, I had to school him real quick on something. Man, I can't believe he tried to say X. And then his man just like, for real? Oh, dog. Yo, boom, boom, boom. Now they're having a conversation about you, but still about that topic. While you're like, yo, whatever, man. I mean, now he don't think he know more than me. A chance to build, a chance to bond. Maybe that might be the only thing you got in common. Y'all are the dudes who are out here making it feel like these are 80s flicks where y'all can't connect. We all grew up the same way. We all know the same joints. We all been around the same thing. I don't know if you think that, like, by the time it gets to the hood or the trailer parks or athletes are no longer, like, parents of athletes are like, no, don't you watch these shows? Don't you read these comic books? Don't you play these games? We're all part of the same world. We're all part of it. like I said, you guys were heavily invested in it and might not have wanted to do anything else. Some people were like, yo, I like it, and then I'm gonna go do this. That's why you have these athletes that know a lot about this stuff. That's why you have these actors and actresses and writers and directors that know about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And salute to Mark Hamill, because Mark Hamill was the first person I can honestly say who I thought was a cool dude who was a total geek. Because this is Luke. This is Luke Skywalker. Like, nobody's, if you're not Vader and Han, you're not cooler than Luke. There's nobody else. Like, yo, salute to Orlando. Salute to Billy D. Williams. Salute. But he's still fourth. It's Vader, Han, Luke. There's nobody in the world of Star Wars is none. That's the lane right there. Vader, Han, Luke. Everybody else is that's the top three. So to see, then to find out, oh snap, that's the voice of the Joker on the Batman joint, and then he tells you he's just this geek. Dude, you're two iconic characters, and you're a geek. The Fonz was a geek in real life. These were things that we saw. This is the world we grew up in, and y'all are acting like somehow still it's this massive separation. It's not. Come on, man. Anyway, I look, that kind of stuff just throws me off when I see this, and I'm like, yo. And you see people trying to explain it and go, that's because now it's cool to be like, nah, no. Now I'm not gonna like these newer novels that come out, these newer books, and then somebody goes, ooh, let's turn that into a movie or a television show. Now you can make that conversation, because I don't think a lot of people read as much as they did 10 years ago, let alone 20. So now you can make that conversation. Like when that new book that came out maybe 10 years ago, it's a bestseller, it's a big thing, it's very intriguing, and somebody goes, yo, I want to make an adaptation. I want to adapt that into like a movie or a TV show. Then you can do that. Oh, that's this video game, and it's very niche, and then you can do that. The Last of Us had a whole bunch of people rocking. People ran with it. You realize a lot of people read Game of Thrones because people, hood dudes, hood chicks, roundaway people were like, yo, they're still missing some stuff. It still ain't, that didn't kind of like hit the visual I was thinking. We're all here. We're all here. It's just, instead of embracing it and going, yo, let's, like I said, somebody said it's an internal issue. You guys don't want everybody in, like it's a private party, but it was never a private party. It was the same party going on down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time McDonald's was like, we're going to make McGriddles. And everybody and their mama was like, I made that as a kid. Your mama was like, I used to do that as a kid with my food. This ain't new. Y'all ain't invent nothing. I did this in ran away. Suburbs, the trailer parks, the rural area. Everybody did the same thing. It wasn't this big, major, miraculous idea. We all did it at some point as a child, because that's what you do. Like when you see people make the forts, the bed forts in their room with the sheets and the covers, and you thought you was I thought that was an original idea. It's part of growing up. It's part of growing up. It's part of growing up. It is what we do. It becomes a piece of the process of life. The ideas aren't original. Nothing. That's why when you try to do certain things and your parents just look at you like, oh, you don't hurt yourself. Been there, done that. It's not original. We've all been there. We've all done that. We're all here together on these journeys. You know what I'm saying? With our criticisms, with our accolades, what we like and what we don't like. We're here with all of that. It's all some of the same stuff. That's all I gotta say. Matter of fact, the other thing I was gonna say, I might save it for later on something else. I might do that something else. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that Saturday on my show, because it's probably more poignant for the show than it would be for this podcast. This right here was poignant for the podcast, because you never know who's listening. And I'm pretty sure the people who listen to this also watch the animated movies, the regular movies. You're watching comedies, you're watching fantasy, sci-fi fantasy, you watching all that stuff. You remember pulling out the deck of whatever cards and playing them joints. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wasn't out here rolling dice all the time, or playing bones or something, or spades and all that. Sometimes Uno. Everybody's played Uno. Uno was a geek game for some people, or it was the drinking game, or it was the college people game. We all engaged in the same stuff. The lines have always been blurred, if not even completely erased. Geeks and nerds, for some reason, kept drawing the line back. And everybody else was allowing that, because it was like, again, I'm cool with that stuff. I'm not going to do all that, though. It's not that serious. I'm not going to pay money to jump into a tournament and do all that. And nah, I'm not. I'm good, B. It's good. It's good. I'm cool. That's what people do. You know what I mean? This episode, see how that go? I ended up talking a lot about something else. This episode is about the television station 62, channel 62, out there in Detroit, 1975, I believe. All black owned, and the stuff that they try to get down with and do. Let us just get into this episode and enjoy life, man. We're all here together. We're all in the, look, I feel like I wanted to have like a West Coast hip hop moment. We're all in the same game. Ice Cube wasn't in that joint. Ice-T was, but I don't even think that's how his verse started. I don't think his verse started off Ice-T. I think that's just Ice. I'm known as a gangster. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Salute to all the rappers that was in that joint. Was Too Short in that? Hammer was in it. NWA was in it, but it was Ren and Dre. Eazy-E was at it, because that's what we always. And you still got Mom, baby, ain't never done nothing to nobody, and still got smoked at Bay Base party. You're not the first or the last. Woo! Hey. Rest in peace to Eazy-E. Who was in that joint? Now I'm really lost now. Who was in that joint? Oh, smack. Def Jeff, Ice-T, Young MC, Hammer, Easy, Dre Ren, Digital Underground, Tone Loc. Oh man, King T. I still want to say Too Short was in it, but I'm not for sure now. I'm like, I don't know for sure now. I don't know for sure. It was some chicks. Michelle A was in it, because she was singing a little bit on the hook. Oh man, look, my mind is fake. Look, I don't even remember who was in Self-Destruction completely, right? KRS One set it off. Today's topic, self-destruction. KRS, Stetsasonic was all over the place in it. Just Ice, Mo D, Miss Melody, Boogie Down Production was all over. D Nice had a verse too. Dougie Fresh, and that's only because of the dope. You know what I'm saying? What was the joint? Moment of Silence. Then he did the beatbox joint. In the video, Marley Marl was standing beside him. Salute. Big Daddy Kane was in the video. MC Lyte. And the whole thing about MC Lyte's verse and LL. I'm not gonna get into that, because this is not about hip hop. This is about Black history. But that is a Black history moment, because they're Black and it's history. And it was about one of the first major connections hip-hop dudes used to get connected together and make records all the time, but that was just something totally different back in the day. Self-destruction was a whole different thing. Public Enemy, Heavy D, ooh wee, wow. I think I'm missing some people on that joint. I think I'm missing some people on this joint. Yo, that is wild. Yeah. Now I'm gonna go, when this is over, listen to both of those songs, because I cannot believe that I don't remember who was in these joints. Public Enemy, Heavy D. And that's only because my man was like, Heavy D, deep in the heart of the matter. Woo! So Heavy D was in the joint. Special Ed wasn't in that joint. That's D-Nice. I'm thinking Special Ed, but that's D-Nice. They don't look nothing alike, don't even sound alike, but I just saw a young brother and was like, Special Ed. No, that's D-Nice. Boogie Down Productions still. Yeah, whatever, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who else was in that joint. I'm bugging y'all. I'm out here tripping. Let's get back into this thing. I don't even know how I got to the all in the same. Because I was saying you nerds and us non-nerds, quote unquote, we're all in this together. We're all in the same game. Stop the violence. I don't know. They just let us say that too. Stop the violence. I was like, yo, Michelle A was just, she sing and sound totally different, start talking, be like, yo, what? Nah, you tripping. But anyway, thank y'all for listening. East Coast, West Coast, worldwide, Lost Boys, thank y'all so much for rocking with me. You know what I mean? All over the world. All over the world. And we're going to get into this episode, and let's do what we do. Boom. One time for the mind, two times for the grind. Marvin Gaye plays and it's so amazing. Let's loot the Vans. That's really diamond. Oh my God, Dionne Warwick. Yeah, I had a brain freeze. I was about to say Dominique Wilkins. Dionne Warwick, Dominique Wilkins, whatever. But anyway, rest in peace to Marvin Gaye. Hey, woo. Yeah, hey. So check this out. Why we talking about Marvin Gaye? So, y'all know the brother, I can't think of the brother's name. But if y'all fans of Law and Order, we gone. If y'all fans of Law and Order, y'all know who I'm talking about. The brother that was on it back in the day, you know what I'm saying? He got a show where he's like a professor or something on NBC. NBC's looking out for him. Salute. For all the geeky dudes who watched the CW's Flash, that was the father who was okay with his daughter and his adopted son marrying. Never understood that, but whatever. But that brother, so for years, it was always talked about that he would be in a Marvin Gaye movie. And when you know what I'm saying, if you know who I'm talking about, I can't think of the brother's name. I could easily Google him up, and even then, saying the name, if you don't know who I'm talking about, it ain't gonna help you out. You ever see people who do that? They'll Google a name, and you be like, yeah, you know, so-and-so. Like, what's he in? Then they tell you, you're like, I ain't never seen that, or you seen that, and then, you know, it got to click for a minute. But anyway, if you know the brother I'm talking about, y'all know he looks like Marvin Gaye a little bit. So it was always a rumor that there was a movie, or they were working on a movie. Somebody pulled up an old trailer that there was a actual joint, and he was in the joint, and it looked good. It looked nice. It was like, yo, now I'm on the bootleg hunt for that joint, just to see it. Marvin Gaye was one of them dudes, man. Marvin Gaye was a different mind. You know what I mean? Marvin's Room out there in California is like artists be cramming like I want to be in this to get that aura. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about that. We're here to talk about other things. We're here to talk about greatness on a whole nother level, a whole nother scale, baby. We're gonna bring it to you live. We're gonna do what we do all day, baby. Make it world stop like a line. We're gonna look, I don't know. I was about to really I felt like I had a hot touch of like Dusty Rhodes for a minute or Thunderbolt Patterson. It's for all my wrestling heads. Y'all ain't understanding where I'm going. For all my wrestling heads that know what I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like them dudes were just, that was a whole nother level, man. Salute. I also saw like a picture of a young fat Ric Flair. Like a young fat Ric Flair. That threw me off. It threw me completely off. I heard that he was a fat dude, but to see a fat Ric Flair, and he called himself Rumbling Ricky Rhodes. And I remember hearing those stories back in the day where Ric Flair was like, yo, I want to come in the game and be like your younger brother or your cousin or something, because I didn't find this out until like years later. I'm talking about years later from 2024, like maybe 2019 or something, that Ole and Arn Anderson were nowhere really brothers. I didn't know that. They were talking about anybody who rocked with Ole and looked rough and tough and had the same kind of hair color or facial type of joint, you was an Anderson. They just turned you an Anderson. Luckily, Arn Anderson, I think Arn Anderson was his name. Ole Anderson ain't even his real name, I don't think. That's what I found out also. But that was a thing back then. So Ric Flair was like, yo, Dusty Rhodes is the hottest thing going. I want to be your brother. I want to be your cousin. And Dusty Rhodes was the one that was like, nah, son, find you. Do you. Man, look. Yo, for all my NWA heads, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you remember them was them joints. The Four Horsemen rolling up on Dusty was ridiculous. And to think that these two dudes was tight, like they was homies. That's look. That is pure business. That is, you know what I mean? Like, and my mama was one of the people who she just hated Ric Flair. She hated that dude worse. Like, she just like there was like we was watching something Saturdays, like after the cartoons would go off on ABC. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling would come on, and there was this one match. It was him against Ricky Morton, Rock and Roll Express. Ricky Morton and Ric Flair was out the window, and the old lady rolled up on him, was hitting him with the purse. She was like, get him! Get him! Get him! Don't you hit her! Don't you hit! Ooh! I'd go through the TV and strangle him. Hate, boy, that was that hate. But we ain't here to talk about none of that. What we're here to talk about is something that ain't got nothing to do with wrestling to a degree. But let's go. Take it from the top. We gonna take it from the top. Eli. This moment in black history. Ooh, we. And yeah, don't stop. For those of you out there in Detroit, in the Detroit area, and you know of WGPR-TV channel 62, let me put y'all up on something right here. You know what I'm saying? Back in the back in the back days. You know what I'm saying? That was an actual black station. When I tell you black station, I mean a black station. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, this station came into the situation where it was like, yo, we gonna do what we gonna do. And the whole story is a brother comes like, yo, I think we could do this. Can we do this? Let's try to get down. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, let's make this thing happen and turn this into a station. You know what I'm saying? It was owned and operated independently for a good minute. You know what I'm saying? So it was like this. There was a brother, 1975, Dr. Williams V. Banks. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, I'm gonna take this joint and I'm gonna rock it. And I'm gonna rock it. Back then it was WGPR. And he was like, boom, Detroit, first black owned television station. And the thing is, what he tried to do first was basically turn it into like BET. He tried to have it be BET-ish. That ain't really work out, so we kind of had to fall back and become a regular channel. Hold on, bring the B back. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely was like, yo, I want to kind of get this going. Also, WGPR was also a radio station number thing for 107.5 FM. So it was like, yo, he was really out here trying to organize this and do this. And he was killing this thing. I mean, like killing it. When I say killing it, it was up to par. They was really rocking. Now, in 1968, they was broadcasting another joint back then, WXON-TV, and it was licensed out through like Walled Lake, Michigan, and all that. So my man came in, he purchased the joint. He went out here and got a permit. He did what he had to do, and he was like, yo, I got this. I'm gonna rock this. And he purchases it, like, and he's doing his thing. People are like, yo, do we want to rock it? Do we do, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was really out here like, yo, I really want to make it for blacks and ethnic groups, people of color, and we want to just like have joints, have mad, basically multicultural teachings. Just us. Like I said, it was like supposed to be on a level of BET. It was basically a prototype for BET that worked out better for BET being a cable channel than it did for trying to be a national channel, because it was still under the CBS banner back then. You know what I mean? So he had things for like black children, things for the black children to watch. He was doing his thing. Time goes on. Everything is everything, and all of these affiliations and stuff jump off. If y'all remember what happened with not Bush, Clinton, when he signed the bill, and all of these small independent pockets got swapped up into basically conglomerates. It happened with them, and they threatened him. They was like, yo, my man, either you play ball or you don't play at all. We'll take this whole thing from you. All this. They took it from him, changed the name. It became more of an CBS station, like with the regular CBS rotations and the syndication stuff like that. But it was a good run. It was a good run for the man. Like I understand it was a lot of financial problems, because you're talking about trying to cater to a demographic that never really was catered to. So to try to not only make sure you come up with quality programming, you also still had to have the quantity to get it rocking for like 18 hours a day? You know what I'm saying? Because like in the 70s, they still had the joint, but like by 1 or 2, it just was like the fuzz. Y'all remember the fuzz, the White Clouds, the snow joints, the fuzzy fuzz. You know what I mean? The poltergeist, put your hands on the TV. They're here. Yeah, everybody who's listening, yeah, we all around the same age. Don't be trying to act like we don't know what we talking about. Nah. We around the same age. We all know how we would look at that joint at the fuzz and be thinking we see stuff happening. You know what I mean? Every once in a while we think we hear, like, yo, I swear they talking to me. Ain't nobody talking to you. You going crazy. Come on, man. Stop. But anyway, so that was what it was. And it was like, yo, he did his thing. When he died, a lot of stuff really, and it's always like that when you die. Everybody don't salute the people. I know I'm offbeat on this, but salute to people who keep other people's legacies alive. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's something as big as and ambitious as a television network or a television station, or it's something as small as an ice cream truck. You know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, like, to do that is just, and like to basically go, I'm gonna keep your dream alive, and we gonna make this happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's even crazier, when it's not even family members, it's the homies or workers who really felt that deeply about you, that they was like, yo, I'm gonna keep this moving. There's a lot of companies that have come and gone because the people have died and the business just went you know what I mean? But yo, salute to that. This was that Black History moment. I'm out here tripping because I done played Like, I'm talking and talking. I ain't even like get up for nothing else. But yo, my mind was so zoned on this. I'm like, yo, we talking Black history, television. Like, my man went out here and purchased a television station. Like, you know how gangster you got to be to purchase a television station? You know what I mean? Like, we that's next level right there. But anyway, we gonna stick with Motown, and we gonna do what we do. You know what I mean? Give y'all this greatness right here, because this is where we at right here. We giving y'all dope music. This is I don't know about y'all, but like, yo, I'm out here zoning out, like reminiscing. You know what I mean? Like I said, my reminiscing is more or less like, yo, my peoples was like wilding on these joints. But anyway, man, let's do what we do. Thank y'all for rocking with me. You can hear this right here, this right here on the podcast joint, Our World, Our Time. It's on a lot of streaming joints from what I've gathered. You know what I mean? You can hear the music, this whole mix type joint on here. I need to get on Facebook and do a lot more updating. You know what I mean? So forgive me for that. I'm still trying to, like, I got videos and clips and stuff to post too. I don't know. Yo, salute to the dudes who just sit around doing this all day. You know what I mean? Yo, I hope y'all get paid from this, and that's how y'all do it. Why y'all do that? I don't know how that works. I don't know how you just sit around and do that all day. But anyway, we gonna get into this music and have some fun before we get up out of here. We got like a little less than 30 minutes, like a minute less than 30 minutes. So that's 29. Let's do what we do. Let's get down. One time for the mind. Let's Yes. Rest in peace to Michael Jackson. Rest in peace to Prince. Oh my God. Hey, we had rest in peace to Teddy Pendergrass. Oh my goodness. Look, my girl gets so crazy when she heard Teddy Pendergrass's joints, because she's like, we sort of look, I'm about to say no. The documentary, the biography documentary thing about his life, crazy, and the threat she was getting within the group and all that. Yo, it was wild, son. But yo, so many legends. Otis, rest in peace to Otis Redding. Who else we played? Like Marvin. I think I said Marvin Gaye, right? Tammy Terrell, because we came back with the Tammy joint. Yeah, man, heat, a lot of heat. I know I'm missing a lot of souls, but this is what we do this right here for, man. We resurrect the art of this right here is to resurrect the memories, the soul, the spirit, the vibe, the whole. You know what I mean? That's what we do on Wednesdays. We take y'all back, take it back, man. And like I said, summertime, it's gonna be a lot of gangsterness. Like I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this, because we got the whole Nas 30-year anniversary. Saturday, we playing whatever we play, so y'all know we gonna bring the new Nas the Primo joint up, and some few other joints. Oh, I got some nasty joints, new joints all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Various genres. Ooh, wait. Cause I love to do that, man. I just love to look for the music. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about that. If anything, we ain't here to talk. We here to get up out of here. I think I'm overlapsing. Let me go. They like that. I want that. She like that. She want that. I'm like that. She like, I want that. You like this? You can get that. I'm like, yo, I'm bugging. Anyway, time to go. They say you only live once. That's a lie. You only die once. So anytime that I think I totally messed that up. Hold on. Let me do this like, they say you only live once. That's a lie. You only die once. So anytime that your God allows you to get out here and continue your journey, please show the world the best version of you. Y'all be safe. Peace. The playoffs is on. Yo, y'all saw LeBron and them crying last night. I'm sorry. I had to say that. They was crying. They missing goals, and my man just threw the mic down. He made the shot and threw the mic and walked off. Cry, baby. I don't even know who playing tonight. I think the Celtics was winning before I came up and started rocking out with y'all, man. Y'all be safe. Peace.
This is a Soul of Art presentation.